Hello, and welcome to Senior Wise Journey. They call them the golden years, don't they? A time envisioned for peace, reflection, and the quiet joy of a life well lived. Yet, as many of us discover, these years can also bring a new layer of complexity, especially within the dynamics of the families we love so dearly. We've spent a lifetime building bridges, fostering openness, and believing that sharing is the ultimate form of caring. But what if I told you that one of the greatest acts of wisdom in this chapter of life is not what you share, but what you choose to hold sacred? This isn't about building walls or keeping secrets. It's about cultivating a private garden, a space for your own thoughts, your own autonomy, and your own peace. It's about understanding the profound difference between secrecy, which is born of fear, and privacy, which is born of wisdom and self-respect. Today we're going to explore 4 fundamental pillars of that private space. These are the aspects of your life where a little less sharing can lead to a great deal more harmony, independence, and genuine connection. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's embark on this journey of wisdom together.
Part 1. The Sanctity of Your Financial Story. Let's begin with perhaps the most charged topic in any family: money. For decades, you worked, you saved, you planned. You've been the architect of your own financial life. Now, in retirement, there's a natural inclination to want to be transparent with your adult children. They should know what to expect, you might think. It will prevent confusion later on. While a well-drafted will and a designated executor are non-negotiable, there is a vast difference between responsible estate planning and providing a running commentary on your current financial health. Think of your finances as your personal storybook. It has chapters of struggle, chapters of triumph, and carefully planned final pages. Sharing the table of contents, your overall plan, is wise. But inviting everyone to read over your shoulder as you write each new sentence can be disastrous. Let me paint a picture for you. Consider Walter, a 72-year-old retired engineer. Proud of his diligent saving, he casually mentioned the exact size of his investment portfolio to his 2 children over a holiday dinner. He thought it would give them peace of mind. Instead, it planted a seed of expectation. His son, who was struggling with a mortgage, began making suggestions. "Dad, that stock is too volatile for someone your age. You should move it into a safer fund. Maybe help me out with a down payment on a less risky property." His daughter, on the other hand, felt he wasn't spending enough. "Dad, you and Mom deserve a world cruise. You can't take it with you." Suddenly, Walter's financial decisions were no longer his own. They became a topic for family debate, a source of unsolicited and conflicting advice. The peace of mind he intended to give was replaced by pressure and a subtle, corrosive sense of judgment. His storybook was now being edited by a committee. This isn't because children are inherently greedy. More often, it's a misguided attempt to help, or a simple lack of understanding of the emotional weight their opinions carry. They see a pot of money and view it through the lens of their own life's needs and anxieties. They may not grasp that for you, that money represents something far more profound: security, independence, and the freedom to live your remaining years on your own terms. It's the freedom to buy a ridiculously expensive fishing rod, to donate generously to a cause only you care about, or simply to feel the quiet comfort of a safety net that you wove yourself. When you keep the specific numbers and daily financial dealings private, you are not being deceptive. You are simply maintaining your role as the author of your own life. You are protecting your relationships from being tinged by financial expectation. The love between you and your family can remain pure, unburdened by balance sheets and stock tickers. Your children can continue to see you as mom or dad, a source of wisdom and love, rather than a financial plan to be managed. This boundary is a gift, both to yourself and to them. It allows you to enjoy the fruits of your labor without feeling like you need to justify every purchase. And it allows them to love you for who you are and not for what you have. Part 2. The stewardship of your personal health. Now let's turn to another deeply personal area, your health. As our bodies journey through time, aches, pains, and new medical quirks become part of the daily landscape. It's natural to want to confide in our loved ones, but there's a delicate balance between keeping your family appropriately informed and making them the audience for every minor physical complaint. Consider the worry-to-utility ratio. Before you share a health concern, ask yourself, is the utility of sharing this information greater than the amount of worry it will cause? Informing your family that you've been diagnosed with a serious condition that requires support and changes to your daily life has high utility. It's necessary and collaborative. But describing every detail of your arthritis flare-up, your occasional insomnia, or the fact that you felt a bit dizzy this morning often has a very low utility to worry ratio. Let's imagine Brenda, a vibrant 75-year-old who loves gardening. One day, she mentions to her daughter over the phone, "Oh, my knee has really been acting up this week. The damp weather, I suppose." She sees it as a passing comment. Her daughter, however, hears an alarm bell. She immediately starts researching orthopedic surgeons. The next day she calls back with, "Mom, I'm worried you're going to fall. Maybe we should look into getting you for a walker." A week later, the conversation escalates to, "I've been reading about single-story assisted living communities near me, just in case." All from a single comment about an aching knee. Suddenly, Brenda isn't a capable, independent woman who happens to have a sore joint. She's being redefined as fragile and at risk. This is one of the most subtle dangers of oversharing minor health issues. It can prematurely cast you in the role of the frail elder. Your family's perception of you begins to shrink. They might hesitate to invite you on a family trip, question your ability to manage your own home, or hover over you with anxious concern. Their love and care, while well-intentioned, can become a cage, limiting your autonomy and, ironically, your own self-perception. When people start treating you like you're delicate, it's terribly easy to start feeling that way. You have been the primary steward of your body for over 60 decades. You know its rhythms, its signals, its strengths. You are the one who decides when a concern warrants a doctor's visit and when it simply requires a hot bath and a good night's rest. By choosing to manage the minor ups and downs of your health privately, you are protecting your own image of strength. You are sending a clear message: I am still in charge of this vessel. Of course, designate a healthcare proxy. Have open conversations about your end-of-life wishes. But for the day-to-day, let your primary identity be one of vitality and resilience, not of complaint. Your peace and your family's will be the better for it.
Part 3. The wisdom of diplomatic silence in family feuds. Every family has its fault lines, the old rivalries, the simmering resentments, the clashes of personality that can erupt into full-blown conflicts. As the elder, the matriarch or patriarch, you occupy a unique position. You have the long view. You've seen it all before. It's incredibly tempting to step in as the judge, the mediator, or the truth teller. Our instinct is to fix things, but more often than not, the wisest and most loving role you can play is that of Switzerland. Respected, compassionate, and steadfastly neutral. Think of a family argument as a wildfire. Your strongly worded opinion, no matter how correct you believe it to be, is often just a gust of wind, spreading the flames to new corners of the forest. Your quiet, unwavering love, however, acts as a firebreak. It contains the damage. Let's take the classic scenario. Two adult siblings, Mark and Sarah, are arguing over how to care for their aging father, George. Mark thinks he should move into assisted living. Sarah insists he can stay at home with some help. They come to George, each pleading their case, seeking his validation. George, wanting to be honest, tells Mark he's being too hasty, and tells Sarah she's being unrealistic. He thinks he's offering balanced feedback. In reality, he has just alienated both of them. Mark feels his practical concerns have been dismissed. Sarah feels her loving efforts have been unappreciated. Now, instead of one conflict, there are three. The original argument remains, but now both siblings also harbor a small resentment toward their father for not taking their side. When the fire eventually burns out, and it usually does, the combatants often forget the specifics of what was said in the heat of the moment, but they will remember who stood with them and who stood against them. By taking a side, you risk a permanent chill in a relationship that could last long after the original issue is resolved. This doesn't mean you should be a passive doormat. It means you must elevate your position. Instead of descending into the fray, you remain a beacon of stability. You can practice the art of empathetic non-engagement. When a family member comes to you to complain about another, you can listen, nod, and say things like, "That sounds incredibly difficult. I'm sorry you're going through that. I love you both, and I have faith that you will find a way to work this out. My role is to love everyone in this family, not to choose between them." These statements offer validation without taking sides. You acknowledge their pain without endorsing their position. You are a safe harbor, not a weapon to be used in their war. This preserves your energy, and most importantly, it preserves your status as the one person everyone in the family can turn to, knowing they will receive unconditional love, not judgment. Your peace is a precious resource. Don't squander it on battles that are not yours to fight. Part 4. The private museum of your past regrets. Finally, let's talk about the past. That vast landscape of memories, choices, and roads not taken. As we reflect on the totality of our lives, it's only human to feel a pang of regret. I wish I had spent more time with the children. I wish I had bought that little house by the lake. I regret not finishing my degree. It can feel cathartic, even honest, to voice these regrets to our family. But this is one of the most delicate areas of all, where our personal reflections can become an unintended burden on the people we love most. Imagine your past is a private museum. It's filled with beautiful exhibits of your triumphs, joys, and loves. But it also has a small, dimly lit room in the back for the what-ifs and the if-onlys. You, as the curator, can visit that room anytime you like. You can reflect, learn, and make peace with its contents. But when you bring your children into that room and dwell on the exhibits of regret, they don't see it the way you do. When you say, "I wish I hadn't worked so much," your child doesn't hear a simple statement of personal reflection. They may hear an implicit apology that feels like a burden. My childhood was less than it should have been because of my parents' choices. They may feel a pressure to reassure you, "No, Dad, you were a great provider."
Or worse, they may silently absorb a sense of guilt or sadness that wasn't theirs to carry. If you lament not pursuing a different career path, they might misinterpret that as, "The life I built with your mother and you was a consolation prize." These interpretations are rarely conscious, but they can color the emotional legacy you leave behind. Instead of remembering you as the strong, resilient person who built a life for them, they may begin to see you through a filter of sorrow and unfulfillment. The past cannot be rewritten, but it can be reframed. The wisdom of age allows us to transform our regrets into lessons. This is a powerful and positive legacy to share. Instead of voicing the regret, share the wisdom gained from it. Instead of, "I regret working so much," try, "I learned from my years of hard work how incredibly precious time is, and that's why I cherish every single moment I get to spend with you now." Instead of, "I wish we had moved to Colorado," try, "It's amazing to think about the different paths life can take. I'm so glad our path led us to build this wonderful community and family right here." This approach honors your full life experience without placing its emotional weight on your family. Let your past be your private museum. Share the beautiful main exhibits with everyone, but keep the small, dimly lit room of regrets for your own quiet contemplation. It is there for your wisdom, not for their burden.
So there we have them, the 4 pillars of a peaceful life after 60. The sanctity of your financial story, the stewardship of your personal health, the wisdom of diplomatic silence, and the private curation of your past. As we've discussed, this isn't about shutting people out. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about preserving the very best of your relationships by removing the elements that can cause friction, worry, and misunderstanding. It's about trading the need for total transparency for the wisdom of healthy boundaries. This is the ultimate act of self-respect and a profound gift to your family. You are demonstrating that your independence is paramount, your peace is precious, and your love is unconditional, free from the entanglement of money, health anxieties, or old conflicts. The lesson here is simple but transformative. Your life, your wisdom, and your peace of mind are your most important assets. Nurture them, protect them. They are the true legacy you will leave behind. If this message resonated with you today, please do us a small favor and click the like button. Share this video with a friend who might appreciate this perspective. And most importantly, subscribe to Senior Wise Journey and ring the notification bell. We are building a community of wisdom here, and your voice is a vital part of it. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.